Welcome to Warehouse and More. In this video, we'll discuss some basics about picking. Picking refers to an activity of searching and collecting items in a warehouse as per a list known as pick list. This is generated by a system, usually WMS, and based on all the orders that are received in a particular warehouse, pick lists are generated. Those are distributed across multiple pickers who basically go into all the storage modes, racks, or in whatever form the items are stored. And their task is to basically get the stuff from the warehouse and move it to the packing station where the material is packed as per order and delivered to the customers. Typical tasks in picking include traveling to location. Basically, you have to go to that location physically. Then there are activities like searching and confirming, because once you reach any location, you have to search it, because let's assume some or there is a rack, something like this. If there are multiple items that you need to pick, a person standing here have to search and basically locate what item he or she needs to pick. The third one is documentation. So documentation doesn't necessarily mean it should be in form of paperwork. It can be a simple scan that a picker does to register what he has picked and what he has not. Bas- Basically, and apart from this, a simple activity that is basically actual picking. So actual picking includes grabbing this item, putting in a basket or trolley or whatever travel medium that picker is moving it, right? So if you see, there are four major activities. One is traveling, second is searching, third is real activity that is picking, and fourth is documentation. The most labor intensive activity is traveling. So traveling almost consists 50 to 60% of the activity a picker does, and that's the major concern. And all the different type of picking are designed across to reduce this traveling time. And of course, searching and everything, these take some time, but with the advancement of technology like put to light, pick to light, and traditional ways of scanning the item to register or document the picks, these are already saving some times. So without wasting much time, let's go into some of the basics of or fundamentals of the picking. So in last video we learned about what is an order line. So it's a combination of SKU and order. Then there are different type of picking. It can be quantity or unit picking. There can be a full case picking. A complete case is being picked. There can be a brick pack picking. So this is basically breaking a case and picking whatever is required. Now another important point are pick phase and SKU density. So to understand what is pick phase, let's imagine this is an rack in front of you, a simple rack, let's say a bookshelf, and you have kept multiple cartons on those bookshelf. And now imagine this being an there are multiple cartons back to back. So this becomes carton number, let's say carton number 1, and this is carton number 2. But imagine this being both being same SKU. So now pick phase are the front location which are accessible to the picker. So this is like an 2D image in front of you if you're standing in front of an rack. Now, what is the SKU density? So SKU density is basically how many unique SKUs are there in front of basically in front or in a particular storage space, or particular, it can be anything. For example, it can be how many unique SKUs there are, let's say in length of 5 feet. So if these all 9 SKUs are separate, so then it is like 9 SKU per 5 feet, and you can use any ratio as required. It may be a 2D wall or it can be a length. So these are the couple of important points: pick face and SKU density. Now moving ahead with the type of picking. So there are basically 5 type of pickings. So first one being the most simple form, that is single order picking. So I like to use some basic example that everyone, I believe, must have seen and went through in their day-to-day life. So let's say you want to go to a store, let's say departmental store, and you have a pick list. Pick list is basically, uh, as we discussed, you want to pick 5 different SKUs or 5 different items. Let's say a banana, apple, orange, or this kind of thing. You went into the departmental store. You travel across all the different aisles, all the different location where you want to go. You pick everything, you put them in basket, you give it to the cashier. So now this is a single order pick. Now just change this example. Now instead of picking only for you, you are also picking for your neighbor, and but you don't want to mix anything. So you take 2 baskets, you pick all the SKUs those are required by you, and all the items or SKU required by your neighbor in some other basket. So these are basically O1 and O2 are picked simultaneously, but in a different basket. So this is also known as sort while picking, because let's say I also want apples and my neighbor also want apple. So I'll visit that particular aisle. I'll pick couple of apples for me. I'll pick couple of apples for my neighbor. But it's like I'm picking and sorting at the same time. So it's also known as pick while sorting. Now things become interesting in batch picking. So batch picking is like, now imagine you're not just going shopping for you and your neighbor. Now you're going on shopping for your entire building. Let's say 8 or 10 neighbor of yours, right? And everyone wants the same item. That is apples. For let's assume it as apple. So there are 5 orders: O1, O2, O3, O4, O5. So it's obviously, it doesn't seem advisable that I carry 4 different orders or 4 different baskets with me, but I know that how many apples everyone needs, right? So first one may need 2, then 5, then maybe 6, then 4, or X number, right? So what I can do is I can take one big basket with me. I can pick everything in this basket. I'll go to the cashier. I'll bill for them, and then at the end of my shopping, I'll just sort them by the quantity that is required. So now this is the batch picking, and in subsequent videos we'll learn more about how does it impact the overall operation in the warehouse, and how does it basically reduces the total effort and total traveling time. Now the fourth one is zone picking. So zone picking, as the name suggests, instead now there might be multiple zones in a warehouse. So let's say it's an grocery warehouse. So there are refrigerated items and there are veggies. And for sake of simplicity, it's only one order at a time. So What I'll do here is, in this is also known as pick and pass, right? So one picker will take the basket, he'll put all the items from the refrigerated part, he'll move that basket to another picker who is dedicated in the veggies section. He'll pick all the items, veggie items in this particular basket. Now one basket contains a refrigerator item and veggies also, and this is basically pick and pass. So you're picking and you're passing to the next picker. Now the fifth one is progressive assembly. So this is an different or slightly different variant of pick and pass or zone picking. So now let's say there are three different zones in your warehouse. One is refrigerated, second one is, let's say, ambience, and third one is hardware. So in this type of picking there will be three separate pickers. All those pickers will work independently, and these all of them will pass their share of work on one spot where everything will be merged and packed together. So this is your progressive order assembly or progressive order picking. So let's just summarize what we have learned in today's video. So we learned about what is picking, what is pick list. uh, Picking consists of majorly 50 to 60% of the time as walking. Some fundamentals around picking. So what is an order line, quantity, case picking, break pack picking, SKU density, and pick phase. What is pick phase and what is SKU density? And then we moved on to single order picking, multi order picking, batch picking, zone picking, and progressive order picking. So that's it in this video. Uh, Thank you so much.